Hey everyone, RogueGold here, and as of this morning, 2.15.1 has released, meaning that a lot of the bug fixes and stuff that we've been waiting for ever since the release of the big title update 15 has now hit the live servers, and we can benefit all from what that has to bring. And so what I want to do with this video is go through what I think are some of the most highlight changes. We have some big stuff happening to expertise, which if you've been around Twitter the last, 24 hours has been a very controversial subject, but we'll get into that. We also have some stuff with some of the weapon variants that have come with 2.15 and Season 9. So there's a lot of stuff across the board. I want to go over what I think is the most useful stuff for you all to know. There's some stuff that differed from the patch notes that came out, so I want to highlight that. There's some negative, some positive, all of that stuff. We're going to get into all of it. But yeah, I just wanted to give you guys a little bit of a breakdown of this new update that has hit the live servers as of today. And so without further ado, let's get into it. All right, so let's start with expertise. If you have been unaware, over the past, weeks ever since 2.15 release, there's been an issue with expertise that was allowing some people to go over what was supposed to be the maximum expertise level as of right now, which is somewhere around 20, right around there. There were people getting up to like 28, 29, 30 in some cases. There were pictures of that floating around on Twitter, and the devs, I think at first weren't really sure where that was coming from, but they later identified that it was because certain sources of proficiency XP that you could earn in the game was giving you more than was intended, which was then increasing your total expertise level beyond what was supposed to be currently possible. And so as of yesterday, I think, or maybe the day before, the devs finally addressed this, and then this is kind of the changes that we saw going into the game today, but I just want to read this off to you quick to give you some context before we look at what was actually changed in-game. A message from the Division 2 team agents: we have made updates following the discovery of a mistake in the amount of proficiency points gained from kill XP, and have been forced to recalculate every player's progress. The expected expertise cap for Season 9 is 20, and allowing higher levels now will have a considerable impact on the long-term balance of the game. The adjustment will be rolled out on May 31st. That, of course, is today with 2.15.1. This will impact most players active during Season 9 and will bring their expertise level back to where it should be at. This will also impact any item upgraded. We'll be granting SHD caches, including materials, to all affected players as compensation for the future rollback and the materials you have invested in gear upgrades. You can expect the update on the compensation availability later this week. Please be warned that it is not possible for us to grant the exact amount of materials invested due to lack of in-game data. Discrepancies are to be expected. The Division 2 development team. So let's just jump over to the game, and I will be able to give you a better demonstration of what exactly that all means. Alright, so the first thing I want to show you here that you're seeing on screen, this was my expertise level as of last night, as of before 2.15.1 released, as of before the rollback. So I was just a little bit past expertise level 6, and I wanted to mark this just so I could see, come the morning, come now, what it was going to change to once they did some of these rollbacks. And as you can see, it's really not that bad. I lost about one level-ish, little bit under a level. I'm now at about 5.25 of total expertise level. And so what they meant in that post was that out of the 3 methods to upgrade your proficiency with different items, right? Kill XP, donations, and duplicate donations. The kill XP one was granting more than they intended. And what that was doing is, because the expertise system doesn't have a hard cap, right? It's meant to upgrade over time. You're meant to, once we get seasons 10, 11, 12, that total level is going to increase with more items that get added to the pool. So because there's not currently a cap on it, and you were getting too much XP from the kill stuff, people were getting up to 30, which was probably not even intended by the end of year 4, right? We'll probably be at like 25 or something. And so, obviously that couldn't really stand. And, people are all going to have their different opinions. I totally respect that. I think they were within their right to move people back just to reset the system to get everybody in the right spot. Was it unfortunate? Yeah, but I think a lot of people are realizing when they log on this morning, at least the takes that I'm seeing thus far, that it's really not as bad of a adjustment as they thought. Some people hear rollbacks, so like, oh, they're resetting my entire progress. That's definitely not what happened. It depends on how far you got in the system, but it should be somewhat reasonable. They were just adjusting how much kill XP you were given. They didn't change any of your donation stuff that you put in. And so hopefully for all of you listening, it wasn't that bad of a change, but that is really what went down. But because of this, like you saw in the post, they are going to provide everybody with a compensation package, which is some materials and some various caches, and those are going to be coming a little bit later in the week. So hopefully you can recoup some of the losses that were rolled back with using those new materials. We don't really know any details on what sort of package that's going to be, but hopefully we learn in the coming days, and then we can get that before too long. And also now, I'll just note, because 2.15.1 is now live, the donate all junk button is working properly. So if you do that you now get the full amount of the XP, whereas before it was doing a little bit less than if you went and donated each thing individually. So overall, expertise should now be all locked in. I don't think we have any more outlying issues. I guess we'll see in the coming hours and days. But for now, everything should be straight. A little bit unfortunate with the rollback, but at least it wasn't as bad as some people were anticipating. All right, next topic of interest here. I know another bit of a disappointment before we move on to some of the better stuff. The Fairview Crew Apparel event has been delayed again, but luckily this time it's just 48 hours. So you can see right here they posted 6 hours ago. We know you are eager to get some new kit for your agent, so keep your diary free. Don't know what that's about. On Thursday, 2nd of June, when we will have a maintenance to deploy the Fairview Crew Apparel event, the in-game timer will display the wrong date. Please disregard this info. And so what they're talking about, if we go in game here and you go to the season menu, you will see that the timer on the Fairview Crew in the season timeline, it says that it doesn't unlock for another 6 days and 16 hours, which of course would be next Tuesday when the next reset is. But as they said in that tweet, they're going to have a maintenance on this Thursday, the 2nd of June, that will unlock it, and then it will be active. So we have less than 48 hours until that becomes active. Again, unfortunate that it was delayed again. I don't really know what the reasoning is, but luckily it is not too much of a wait before it is finally here. And they did update the little image panel there. It now has the outfit there, and they did the same with the street activation one, which is now, sooner than it was going to be when Fairview Crew was first going to release. So that's coming, but it is going to be a little bit longer of a wait than we were anticipating. All right, and this next one is actually one of the positives. All right, we got over the uncomfortable stuff, and now we get to some of the actual benefits of TU 15.1, and that is that the Kingbreaker and Dare new named items that came with Season 9 are now displaying their correct weapon models finally. So the TKB and the GR9 are now in their correct slots as these named items, and that's pretty sweet. There are still some issues with them, like this one, has some of the weird mod stuff, and apparently your character holds it weird. Still, it holds it like an AK, I believe, so it reloads on the wrong spot, and you still can't put a skin on it, I think. So some of that stuff still being worked out, and that's unfortunate. The GR9 at least has its scope now, and I think its mods are working correctly. Like, if you look at these, that all looks right to me. And the mag no longer, it doesn't throw out like a 5.6 mag. I think there is supposed to be a belt there that's maybe not in yet. I don't really know. But at least the scope is there now. That wasn't showing up before. So we're making progress. These things are now in their correct slots. There's still a few more tunings to do to them. But that hopefully will get resolved soon, and we now finally have at least the correct weapon types for these new named weapons, which is fun, because, people want to use them and they want to try out the new stuff, and so that should be pretty cool moving forward. Alright everybody, and I believe that about covers the major stuff that I wanted to go over in this video. Of course, there were many more changes that came with TU 15.1. You can check out the patch notes if you want to. I'll link them in the description. They had several bug fixes, stuff to fix some of the seasonal mana stuff, all of that, but I thought that these changes were the ones that you guys would be the most interested in. I know specifically the weapon model stuff was something that we've talked about a lot in the past few weeks, and so I certainly wanted to bring that up. And of course, everybody wants to know about their expertise rollbacks and stuff, so all of that is very relevant. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you thought it was useful, the stuff that I chose to focus on, and like I said, the patch notes will give you all the details if you want to go over those. Thank you all so much for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed this video, and be sure to subscribe with notifications on so you can be updated every time I upload. I will say to keep an eye out later in the day. I plan to release a second video going over one other big change that came alongside TU 15.1 that is something that I was pretty happy to see, so keep an eye out for that. But other than that, I certainly hope you enjoyed. Let me know your thoughts about the patch overall. What has been your experiences with it thus far? What did your expertise rollback look like personally? And are you looking forward to some of that material compensation and the apparel event stuff later in the week? Should be a pretty good time. And so, yeah, we'll certainly go over all of that. I'm going to do a stream tomorrow, so we got lots of stuff coming. And certainly, I hope you enjoy both this stuff and what's in the game. That's going to do it for me, though. Everybody, once again, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day. And until the next one, guys, RogueGold out.